Hello, 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 and welcome back to another YouTube and Facebook Live with me, Prandata Prim. I'm so excited to have Vika here. So, we're going to
Hi,
be talking about Women's Day Art Exchange. Hello. How are you, beautiful?
I'm doing great. Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, as people are coming on, say hello. Let us know you're here. I see people coming on. Just say hi. So, let me introduce Vika. So, Vika and I met in Brazil, in 2011 or 2012?
Yes, 2011.
2011. Hello, Brenda. Thanks for coming on. 2011. So, we were
10
both living in
years.
Salvador at the time. Yeah, 10 years. Can't believe that. Time is flying. I can't believe I lived
Yes,
in Brazil 10 years. So we met. So you do capoeira and dance.
that's right. That's
And
right.
so, yeah, and I'm going to have you explain a little bit more about that. And so, one of the things that I loved about Salvador is the culture, right? Like, I really love, hello, Vani. Vani is another person I met in Salvador, one of the first people that I met where I studied transpersonal psychology. Thanks for coming on and saying hello. So, one of the things that I love about Salvador is its culture, its
That's
food,
right.
the people. The people are so loving, they're so open, they're caring. And I just really loved watching the people dance capoeira in the streets. And I'm really sad to admit that I have not learned capoeira. So that is a thing that I do need to do. But I remember I would look at Vika like, oh my God, look at her body. Look at that capoeira body. She's strong. I'm
Oh,
trying to get like that. um, but anyway, so tell us a little bit about capoeira. Before we go into the Women's Day Art Exchange, tell us
yeah,
about your
sure.
life in Brazil, what you loved about it, and then what is Women's Day Exchange? How did that start? And what is it morphing into?
Yes. First, I love that we started with capoeira because I definitely would not be in this space right now, creating the Women's Day Exchange if I had not ever encountered capoeira in
Mhm.
my life. It was a life changing um, journey, and I started training capoeira after my first trip to Brazil. I saw it and I thought, oh, this it just called me. And when I came back to California, I found a
One
group and I
second, I'm
started
I'm
training.
I'm gonna let you talk, but I need to get some
Yeah,
insect repellent because these mosquitoes are killing me. All right, so
sure.
keep going. I'm
Yeah.
just letting you know. Okay.
Okay. When I came back to California, I my mestre, he is from Bahia, and I started training capoeira, and he also taught Afro Brazilian dance. So I started training Afro Brazilian dance, and I fell in love with it. It just seemed like a deep well of knowledge and wisdom, and a lot of truths that I connected to on a soul level, and I really you know, uh, fell in love with everything that I was doing, and that is what inspired my journey to Bahia. Just wanting to dive deeper into that cultural experience, and that's where I met Renee, actually. So when I went to Bahia, I was guided, by my mestre, and he encouraged me to go deeper, dive deeper, and I trained with his mestre in Bonfim in Salvador, and I started training more Afro Brazilian dance, and I took classes, and I believe Renee and we met in dance class, right? So
Yes.
that's where we sort of bonded and clicked and made our friendship in Bahia, and so that's where the journey began, and it was really a soul journey. I followed my heart and soul the entire time, and it was a transformative because it never left me. I never stopped training, and I never stopped diving into the Afro-Brazilian dance, what it meant, the cultural tradition, the spiritual traditions behind everything that you're doing, and it really is an embodied practice. And I just stuck with it, and I'm still with it, and that's where my love for Bahia and everything was born out of. I went to Bahia already with the intention of wanting to dive deeper into capoeira and Afro-Brazilian dance and everything else that was there, and really uh, truly embraced by the culture. And how you were saying, it really is a magical place. Vibration, just the vibration of Bahia and Salvador is quite powerful. And
It's so powerful. It's so
yeah,
powerful. Like so many mystical things happen. And I think synchronicities happen, right? So like these
yes,
synchronicities, like we met and like what's the chances we meet and we're still, connected 10 years later. And
right.
now I'm about to do this workshop with you, like, out of the blue. But you send me a message to participate in your Women's Day exchange. And so it's like Bahia will always have a special place in my heart, right?
That's right.
Even if for some reason I happen to move and not live in Brazil anymore, well, I live in Rio now, but I'm always going back to Salvador, always. And it will
Mm-hmm.
just always have a special place in my heart, and so synchronicities happen. You meet people that you never even, you probably wouldn't know, like if you just were in the States or some other country, but you meet people. And it's not just that you meet people, like you form bonds. And it's just something that you can't be explained. Like my time here in Brazil, even here in Rio now, but not the same as Salvador. Like the people that I met in Salvador, we made such strong bonds and connections that will never break.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so it's just a beautiful experience. And so I remember last year, so this is the beautiful thing, when Vika invited me to go to do the workshop in her it was the first, right, Women's Day Art Exchange.
Hmm.
I
Actually, it was the
actually
second. It was the
Oh,
second.
second, sorry. Okay, so
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
second.
Hmm.
You didn't invite me for the first one? I'm just
I,
joking.
I I didn't even know it was possible. I was like, Renee, you're in Brazil. Would
You
you
did.
maybe can you, if you're in California?
Right. And I was like, yes, I'm coming. Let's do it. And it was crazy because I got there at the beginning of this pandemic. And
The very
so it
beginning, the
was
first weekend, the
crazy.
first weekend.
The first weekend. And
Hmm.
everything was locking down. And it was like, and it was hard because I saw all of your love. I saw all of the work you put into it and the commitment and the energy. And so, yeah, so it's just so interesting. Let me just say hello real quick. Hello, Brenda. Oh, there's two Brendas on. Hello, both Brendas. Thank you guys for coming on. Um, and Vani says capoeira today is an international dance and mainly in our country has helped a lot of children and teenagers to become great citizens. Yes. Brenda says divine appointments. Vani also says it's important to say that capoeira used to be a fight and has become a dance because of prohibition. Oh,
Mm. Yes.
yeah.
Well, sure. We can definitely, capoeira being born out of, as a resistance movement. It really is resistance in motion,
Mhm.
to severe and deep colonial oppression of the body, of the spirit, of the African Brazilian experience in Brazil. So it's definitely a tool, and a tool for empowering, a tool for preserving culture and traditions that were otherwise, like, heavily oppressed.
Mhm.
And here in the States, I would, also add that it has definitely served as a tool for doing anti-racist work,
Mhm.
for like, because you're learning, a living history. It's not just like something that kind of
Mm-hmm.
was in the past. It's very much a very living tradition, and now that it's global, it's still, I think, important to highlight those roots, because
Yes.
you can't talk about capoeira without talking about the African Brazilian experience in Brazil. You can't
Right.
separate those,
Mm-hmm. Right.
so
Right. Beautiful. And so, and then going into the dance. So Women's Day Art Exchange, what is
mhm.
that about? Yeah,
So yes.
go ahead. Mhm.
No, what was it? Finish
No,
the
no, I was gonna
question.
say. So you started saying. So you started it. So this upcoming Women's Day Art Exchange will be your third one. The third
The
one.
third one,
And so.
yes. The first one was in 2019. I did the first one, and that was really out of a, a kind of it was something that was born out of, actually, I was quite in a dark place myself.
Mhm.
I think spiritually I just hit kind of a wall where I wanted my work to really communicate some powerful messages that I felt like I wanted to shine, to hit through the work. And the Women's Day Exchange was really kind of a call, and and a response. I don't know how to describe it, but I walked outside and I saw a double rainbow, and I've never seen a
Wow.
double rainbow before. And that, for me, linked a lot of like different things in my consciousness, in my development. And I kind of saw the serpent as, like a cosmic serpent rising, and then that just kind of working with all the mythologies, global mythologies, that I've been studying and that I am really fascinated by, particularly because the Afro-Brazilian dance tradition has this connection to embodied movement and spirituality. And there's different cultures around the world. And I wanted an event that highlighted this deep connection to spirit, a deep connection to honoring the sacred in women, and also by that, uh, uh, not we can't honor women without talking about Mother Earth, without talking
Mhm.
about how we're treating the planet. We can't worship, or we can't talk about any form of, in my opinion, this is my opinion, spirituality,
Mhm.
without talking about our connections to the land, to
Mhm.
to the things that make us, wholeheartedly human. And so that's how I started the exchange, is that I wanted an event that said that story. I felt like that was a
Mhm.
story that needed to be like manifested.
Mhm. And so, how do you manifest that story? And I love that, and that's beautiful because you know me. I love being around nature, and I totally believe this, right? I totally agree with everything that you said, and I believe that as well. So now, through this event, how do you demonstrate that? How does that work with the connection to nature, with movement, with dance? Like, if
Sure, sure.
yeah.
So I every year. So the first year we started by having movement workshops, and of course, I also had, like, we had Afro Brazilian dance workshops. We had a workshop on Ogun and Omulu that I had my mestre teach, and talking about, what those that embodied movement stood for. And then we also had soil engaging activities. So we planted a tree. We had a tree planting ceremony. We
Beautiful.
had,
Yes.
yeah, it was really fantastic, because the intention was to kind of, talk about, in some ways, rewriting the story. Because I taught my workshop, I called it Global Visions of the Cosmic Serpent. And it was, inspired by the dance for Oshumare, but I also brought in different forms of movement and mythologies surrounding the serpent that exists around the world, and how the serpent is
Mhm.
linked to goddess, right?
Right.
How it's present in, Egyptian cosmology, Yoruba cosmology, uh like aboriginal indigenous cosmologies throughout the Americas, all have this connection to a serpent, a cosmic serpent, whether it's
Mhm.
Quetzalcoatl or what have you. So um, when you take the serpent and you change it into the biblical serpent, then the
Mhm.
script is flipped on Eve. Eve was
Right.
framed. Eve was framed.
Right. I
So
agree.
so this
Mhm.
so this whole thing is kind of, we're rewriting it to bring in that original connection between Earth Goddess and our relationship to all these sort of spirit beings that are, and these messages in nature that we receive all the time, but
Yes.
we sort of we suppress it, just
Mhm.
living our daily lives. We don't pay attention
Mhm.
to those omens, those, like the double rainbow. That was,
Right.
it was a vision. It was a vision for me. It
Mhm.
was a message.
Mhm. I saw a rainbow yesterday. It wasn't a double rainbow, but it was a rainbow. And I was in a car. We were driving because we went to the mountains and it was coming back to Rio. And I happened to look out the window and I was like, a rainbow. And we're like in the middle of a conversation and everybody looks and they're like, oh. But it's so interesting because I work with Tantra. So when we met, I wasn't working with Tantra. So I started working with Tantra after, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But working with Tantra, it's all about working with that serpent energy, that Kundalini energy. So that
Mm,
Kundalini energy is the serpent,
that's right.
and so, yeah. So it's
Snap,
that,
snap,
so
snap, snap, snap.
yes. See these synchronicities? These synchronicities, you know, um, and that's one of the beautiful things about, like, which is the Tantra, the working with Tantra. It's also like everything is connected. It's being able to connect to the elements, to the earth, to the land, and all beings, all sentient beings, and
That's right.
so, yeah, and so even this work, like what you're doing in my work with Tantra, even the work with shamanism, when you go into shamanism, and if you drink ayahuasca, you're also working with that serpent energy, right? I don't know if you've ever drank ayahuasca, but a lot of times in ceremonies they'll say, sometimes you'll see a cobra, you'll see that serpent, and that's how there's some work being done. Not the only way work is being done, but that's a lot of times that's that goal in doing that work, to see that serpent, and awaken that, what in Tantra we would call Kundalini energy, but awakening that energy within you. So that was beautiful to hear your story about the snake, and I completely believe when it goes into the biblical version, it switched up, right?
That's
So
right. That's right. It switched, and it's up to us to make sure that we're in charge of telling our own stories,
mhm,
and and that's where it was challenging to conceptualize this as an event, but I knew it had to be done, and that
mhm,
was what inspired the first one. The second one is when I called you on the
mhm.
chance, because you were doing some work in Idlewild, which was like right nearby. You were doing a retreat,
Yes,
and
yes,
remember that. And
I
so I
remember
thought, well,
that.
maybe Renee might be in California around this time, and let me just like hit her up and see what's up. And you were like, "Yeah, I'm there. Just tell me, I'll be there." So that was really amazing, and it really is wild. Like for the second event, I putting it all together, and I had actually coordinated with the city, and we were planting 10 trees for the second event. So the first one we
Wow.
started with one, and then we moved up to 10, and it was in a public park. I'm actually sitting in the parking lot of that park right now. And then I realized that inside my car is probably better lighting, but and to have it all sort of uh, not completely evaporate, because we did hold on to the some parts of the event, but it was heartbreaking to, like, it was great to see you, but then to drive you to the airport, like within the 24-hour span. And so
I
that's why it's really
know.
special where we are now, because the world, as closed off as we are, we're connected in a different way. And so
Hmm.
now you can do this virtually, and it's really brilliant, because I'm so excited that you're able to actually participate, you
Hmm.
know from where you are, because it's
Right.
sort of the event is now a hybrid event where if you want to just participate virtually, you can, and that opens it up to the world, and so it is beautiful. We're giving up a lot, but we're trying to hold on to the things that give us soul and sanity, right?
Yes.
So
So let me say, for those of you who are listening right now, I want to type up the information for this, and we're going to continue talking about this. But this is great stuff. So if people are interested so far, that's coming on. Where can they find more information on this Women Days event?
Oh, sure. The website for the event is
Mhm.
womensdayexchange.com. When you type it's all one word, but the exchange, just take the E out. So just go straight for the X, womensdayexchange.com, and women plural. And they can find event details, workshop information, how to register, and then also we're doing a virtual food drive. Women's Day. That's it. That's right. You got it.
Perfect.
And we're
Okay.
doing a virtual food drive as part of the event because this year we couldn't have an environmental. It was very difficult to do anything with coordinating any sort of like group activities around planting anything this year. So instead, we're doing more community work as well and organizing a virtual food drive with the local food banks. So if people want to also participate and donate food, this is going to people directly impacted by everything that's going on with this pandemic. So that it's my dream to have this event be a vehicle for connecting people, but also talking about our relationship to our consciousness and the earth in this particular way, and then do some good. Do some good.
Hmm. Hmm. That's beautiful. I like that. And so now, how does that work? So people can participate virtually or in person, right?
That's right. That's right. We're going to have one day. So the event starts off, it's a Friday night. We're kicking it off with a virtual dinner, as a vegetarian dinner. So that you're just in your home, you get the list of ingredients, you cook in your kitchen, you open up your we'll send you a Zoom, and everyone is just kind of cooking and following along with a guided lesson by a chef. Beautiful vegetarian, good for the immunity and health meal. And then Saturday we have a location where we're in San Diego, so there's a place that we're doing an outdoor patio, and I'm also going to have an option to participate virtually because we're going to have a computer there so that people can still tune into the outdoor classes. And then on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. And then on Sunday we have
Okay.
your workshop, which so Sunday our instructors are from Rio. We have Valerique doing belly dance, and she's going to be on location in Miami. And then we also have Beta, who will be
Yeah, I love
doing the
him.
drums.
Amazing. Yes.
So that was really special that Bita is able to do it. And Bita is an alabe. He's a head musician for Candomblé Tejeru, for a Candomblé house, spiritual house in Bahia, and a great, great human being and lovely friend. And Renee knows him, and and so it's really full circle. This whole experience has really been full circle, and
Yes. So let me say real quick. Bonnie says, Renee, you're drinking water like in class. So Bonnie and I was studying, we did a postgraduate course in transpersonal psychology, and I'm always drinking water. I drink a lot of water. It's good.
is
It's
good.
good for us. I'm always
That's
drinking
right.
water. So guys, so I want to give you an opportunity. If anyone who's watching, I know there's tons of people who may have questions. If you have questions, write down your questions. If there's anything specific you want to know about the Women's Day Art Exchange, let us know. If you have any questions about being able to participate, let me know. Let us know. Write that here. this is a great opportunity to be able to answer any questions that you might have. And yeah, so this is great that, and this is one of the things that came out of COVID, right? There was a lot of difficulties. There was a lot of struggles. There was a lot of hard things, but there was also some good things that came out of this. Some blessings, like being able to do things virtually. I would have never started working virtually. I'd always liked being in person, doing my tantra therapy, doing my Reiki, shamanic work in person. And I was so resistant to going, doing virtual. And I would do these workshops in different countries, in different states. And then people say, can we continue on with you? And I'm like, well, let me try to find someone that I can refer you on to. But now it's kind of like, because of COVID, I was forced to go virtually. And and I don't know if it's just that me that changed, or I just had to adapt, right? You have to adapt, or you're going to get left behind, right? So when I started doing these things virtually, I saw that the energy is energy, and you get the same benefit. You feel the same thing, even though it's virtual. I've done classes, tantra courses, where through Zoom, I would pair people up, and they would, I'd have them send energy to each other, and they would feel it. In my classes, they would say, yes, I felt that, that energy being sent to the other person. And I'm like, yeah, and so this has been a blessing. And so it's nice that this third one, you can have this virtual component,
That's
so
right.
that's exciting, where people from all over now can participate, not just people in California. You're in
That's
San
right.
Diego. Yeah. So not just people in California and San Diego, people who are in New York and Brazil, in Chile, in Europe, wherever can participate. And
Right.
so that's an amazing thing.
That's right. It really, you know, the event had to morph because it was important for me to keep the torch, aflame, because, like I said, it does feel like some soul work, at play. And this has been like it's a baby for me. Every year it's like birthing a new little baby,
Hmm.
like,
Yes.
in terms of everything that's going on. So it is beautiful how we're able to morph in this way and still not lose the complete, the still being able to offer a little bit of the organic experience if you are here locally.
Hmm.
But really beautiful in the way that we can reach people now, and still collaborate halfway across the world the way you and I are able to do now.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Yes. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing. So can you give a little bit about the schedule, what people can expect in addition to, like, the virtual, the beta and like,
yeah, of
what
course.
is it like? Yeah. How many
Sure.
days
Okay.
is it? What are the dates?
So
Yeah.
it's a 3-day event. It kicks off on Friday night, March 5th, and it goes March 5th, March 6th, and March 7th. Um, so on Friday night, we're gonna cook it. We're gonna start it off with a vegetarian virtual cooking class and kind of social, and that's on a Friday night, March 5th, taught by Chef Lisa. On Saturday, we're going to have Soulful Salsa Fusion at 11 a.m. And I'm talking in Pacific Standard Time. So if you got Eastern Time, you would add like 3 hours to the schedule. But it's 11 a.m. We have a Soulful Salsa Fusion. At 12 p.m., we have actually Indian classical dance for Adi Parashakti. So it's working with Shakti energy, the supreme goddess. And Preeti Sharma is going to be teaching that class. And so it's really, really beautiful. Also, embodied movement and working with, Parvati, who is Lord Shiva, who's the Lord of the dance in Hinduism. Parvati is like his sort of female, his wife, right? So Adi Parashakti is kind of a tribute to her. And then I'm teaching a class called Dancing the Divine Matrix and the Alchemy of Love. And
Ooh, I
then
like that.
So we're going to be we're working with energies dedicated to womankind, and going into movements that are inspired by Oshun, Oya, and Yamanja, and then diving into triads, the that triad, that I'm calling a divine matrix, which is matrix being like the old word for mother or uterus, womb.
Mhm. Yes.
um, and we're kind of unpacking some of that through the class, and then we have an Afro-Brazilian dance class being taught by my mestre and a great friend, and he's also going to be doing some makulele, which is a warrior dance from the plantations, in African Brazilian warrior dances that came out of the plantations, and so a very empowering movement. And then that's Saturday. And then on Sunday, we have Kali empowerment through sacred movement and breath, taught by Prandara Prem. We have belly dance, and
Ooh.
the beautiful art of Raks Sharki, which is a very sensual, opening up your body to sensual expression, and being comfortable in that sensual space as we go through the movements. And then, of course, we're going to finish it off with drumming. And Bita's drumming class is going to be focused on the Iabas, which are the feminine Orisha energies. Orishas being the spiritual forces of nature, in the Candomblé Ifa tradition. So it's all connecting to cosmic energies, and the great, the energies that we can never lose sight of as we go
Yes.
through everything, collectively right now, this new dimension that we're in. We can never lose
Hmm.
sight of that that energy source, right? those
Yes.
those those things.
Hmm. Beautiful. So will the courses be like the virtual ones be via Zoom? Will people have access to the ones that's in person as well? Will those things be recorded and sent, or how does that work? Or is it, um, yeah,
Yes,
if you can
yes,
explain that. It's like, yeah.
they will have access through Zoom. The whole event will be accessible on Zoom. So the virtual
Okay.
option, there will still be like a Zoom, like we'll have a computer system set up so that
Hmm.
the people can tune into that outdoor
Hmm.
class, and so there'll be
Okay.
that interactive. It'll be a hybrid. And then on Sunday, it's all Zoom as well. So Friday and Sunday are only on Zoom. And then Saturday
Hmm.
is the hybrid, and that's March
Right.
5th, 6th, and 7th. And what was the other question that you asked? Uh,
Oh, I forgot now. Oh my God. I said, how will people be able to get access if it will be via Zoom?
oh,
And
that's
then I
right.
asked
Oh,
something
and
else.
it will be, yeah, they
Oh,
will be recorded.
hold on. I can't
They
hear
will
you.
be
My
recorded.
Siri came on. Okay, say that again. I'm sorry.
Okay.
My Siri came on and then it blocked you out.
Oh, yes. So, and they will be recorded. So if you
Oh,
participate if you're in the event, and let's say you're like, okay, I don't know if I could do all 4 workshops like right now, right?
hmm.
Then you'll still, if you register, you'll get the recordings. So if you aren't
Okay.
able to participate live, you can still have access to those classes. They'll be sent to you in your email, so that those
Hmm.
links will be available.
Awesome. Awesome. Bonnie says she loves salsa. Well, come on, join us. Join us, Bonnie.
Yes, Bonnie. Yes, we have a
so,
very soulful salsa. It's going to be great.
yes, I love salsa too. I love salsa as well. I just love to dance. And
That's right.
so,
Any movement, we got to keep
yeah,
moving.
gotta keep moving. I really think movement is life. I think dance is life. I think breath is life. Like there's just certain things, that we really need to do to feel alive. And that's breathe. Like, I mean, breathe, like properly breathe. Because right now we
Hmm.
don't properly breathe. It's just that short, you know, chest breathing, movement, like moving the hips. And that's why I love salsa. I love samba, I love bachata, merengue,
Oh yeah,
forró, like kazumba, like did I say that right? Kazumba? I think it's
kizomba, I
kazumba.
think. Well, I
Yeah,
yeah.
kazumba. Yeah. So I love all of those. even though I'm
Yeah.
messing up that last name. But I do love that because it's very sensual as well, right? And you're moving. And so I love these different dances, and it really brings you to life. It really brings you to life. And so I also want to say, for those of you who are watching this, and if you're liking this, if it seems interesting for you, share it. Share it with your friends. If you know that you have friends that are dancers or who would love this type of experience, share this with them. Oh, my Siri came back on. Hold on. I don't know why it keeps coming. I think when I say share it, they think I'm calling Siri. Oh, came back on because I just said the name. See, you got to understand the difference between I'm saying your name when I'm saying something else. I'm not going to say the name again. But anyway, yeah, share this with people so then, so they can get more information and know and join us if they're interested. Also, if you're new to my channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can know when we have upcoming videos and things like that, or lives. So let's see what else. Is there anything else that you want to share about this event that maybe I didn't ask? And again, if anybody's
Well,
on here, feel free to ask any questions you may have. Go ahead.
yes, I just want to say that it's called International Women's Day Arts and Dance Exchange, but it is not limited to just women.
Okay.
Anybody is welcome. All genders welcome to the event. It's certainly not to uh, be at the exclusion of men who might want to participate, and certainly all uh, all different kinds of movement are present here, and we have male instructors, female instructors. It's really a day to honor that sort of feminine life force, but
Mm-hmm.
also to get to know the masculine, because you really can't. Um, if you're tuning into those energies, there's really a balance at play, and there's a balance of those energies within us,
Mm-hmm.
including masculine. Us is we don't just have feminine energies, we have masculine as well. So it's really about kind of just honoring life force. And like you said, it's a joyous expression. Movement is medicine. It is soulful
Mm-hmm.
medicine, and we cannot neglect what the soul needs, especially right now.
Right. So beautiful. So true. And I like that you said, and I like that it's open for all genders, because this is the thing, like men and women, like you said, we all have both masculine and feminine energies. And it's also about also honoring and paying respect for women, right? Women's Day Exchange. But men can also take part in that. And it's also important, like when men are doing this work and working on both the feminine and masculine, you're really balancing your energies, and you become, you become more balanced, right? We live, all of us, men and women, we live in a world where we're constantly using that masculine energy, having to do, we're working, having to be active, and we're not connecting to that feminine energy, which is receiving, being, so
That's right.
I could see how this helps both men and women, all genders, however you identify, be able to come into balance and connect those energies to not just be constantly in that masculine energy, but to allow that feminine. And one of the things that I notice what's happening right now, more and more people are starting to see that. More and more men are starting to see the importance of connecting to that feminine energy, right? Because for so many years, men have been conditioned that they have to be strong. They can't be emotional. They can't cry. They have to be a certain way. And it's like, they're realizing, no, it's okay to connect to other sides. It's okay for
That's right.
me to connect to my feelings, to my emotions. And I'm not saying in this course they're going to connect to their emotions or feelings. I'm just saying in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
That more and more people are starting to do that. And so connecting and balancing the feminine, masculine energies is a great start for men and women to be in that balance.
That's right.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. and
Yeah.
and we're so polarized. We're so polarized, and really bombarded with so many images of in my opinion, false images of femininity and masculinity, that it's hard to kind of sift through that sometimes, but you really gotta feel what's right for you when it comes to your balance, and where things might be a little out of whack, because we all live in a patriarchal, the foundation is a patriarchal foundation of
Yes.
hating women.
Right, right, right. So, and it's important to start to get to do that work, to start loving women and respecting women. At one point I saw some statistics where 1 out of 3 women were abused in some form sexually at some point in their life, and that's just high numbers.
Yeah.
We have been in this patriarchal society where we haven't valued women. Women have been objects. I mean, you still have in certain countries where female genital mutilation is still happening. And so, I think there's a lot of work to connect to the feminine energy, connecting and loving that feminine energy some more, so.
That's right. That's right. And I think that our relationship to that feminine, to that divine feminine energy, when we when we really give women this respect, admiration, love, and value, then we treat the planet differently.
Yes.
Because it when you realize that your whole body is sacred, when you realize that the land you walk on is sacred, that the grass is sacred, that the sky is sacred, that the sea is
Mhm.
sacred, that you start treating those sacred spaces in a different way.
Yes. Yes. So beautiful. Wow. So
Yeah,
listen,
thank you so
I'm
much
so
for having me.
excited. You're welcome. I'm so excited. I can't wait for March to come. March, where you at? Because I really can't wait to participate. And I'm so honored that you thought of me and you invited me to participate. So I know it's going to be beautiful. At least I know Bira. I know that you guys are going to get some great things with the salsa dancing, you know, the, you know, and it's such a great variety. So not only are they getting like the Afro-Brazilian culture, but even the Indian culture, right?
That's
Tantra, you got the belly dancing, you got Arabic culture. So it's just such a beautiful mix. Such a
truly
beautiful mix.
international,
Truly,
truly international, and international
truly.
location. So we are global citizens, and
Mhm.
so all these borders, there's we really need to be working on transcending some of this, the nationalist dialogues that are happening, and the way that borders are closing down all the more. And I think that this is uh, an expression of our global citizenship, being
Mhm.
being children of the world, children of the
Yes.
world.
Yes. Awesome. So guys, if you're enjoying this, if it sounds interesting, please go to her website, www.womensdayexchange.com. You could also find her on Instagram at Vika Dances. Is there an Instagram page as well for Women's Day Art Exchange?
Exactly, it's just at Women's Day Exchange.
Oh,
Like the
okay.
same, like the
So,
website, so they can find that
okay.
there.
Okay. So perfect. So you can find more information on Instagram at Women's Day Exchange, or you can go to the website for more details, www.womensdayexchange.com. So thank you guys for coming on. Does anyone have any questions at all before we end? Um, Vani saying, a dança do ventre, além de ser sensual, excelente para o útero. Yeah, so yes, it is. So she's saying the belly dance, beyond being just sensual, it's also good for the uterus. It is. And so a lot of, and I think this is what's healing. Thank you, Vani. What's healing with a lot of this work that you're doing is it's about healing. movement, dance. These are dances that's not just about connecting to that sensuality, but it is, which is good, but it's also healing the uterus. And it's also healing for men, their second chakra. It's so important to do those movements, pelvic movements, hip movements, really, and that helps to also awaken the sexual energy. And that's one of the things with my work with Kundalini, with Tantra, is a lot of healing. When I work with Tantra and sacred sexuality, it's not about just having sex. So I'm glad you talked about that. And I just wanted to add this in terms of with the Tantra. It's not just about sex. And a lot of times people would think just sex, but it's about healing that sexual energy. It's about allowing you to get to the point where you can feel pleasure, as pleasure is your birthright. And when I say pleasure, not just pleasure with sex, but pleasure in all areas of your life, with everything, from conversations, from eating, dancing. And that's what it's all about. And it's about healing. And dance is all about that as well, So this is why I'm so excited. And last year when Vika was like, will you be willing to do this? I'm like, yeah, I didn't even think twice. I'm like, tell me when. I'm getting on that plane. I'm flying there, because I know the healing benefits of this, right? Building your connection, building your tribe, connecting to the planet, connecting to the earth, connecting to sisters and brothers that you would never even meet, on a day-to-day. So this is a beautiful experience. This is a beautiful thing. And I'm proud to be connected to this. I'm proud to be one of the dancers, I'm sorry, one of the workshop facilitators, to be in this. So I'm really excited. And this really is going to be healing for men and women all over. And not only is it going to be just healing, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
That's right. It's about cultivating our joy, right? Cultivating our joy. We can never let go of that.
Right. We can never let go of that. So awesome. So thank you so much, Vika, for coming on and doing this live with me on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you to all of those who's participated, who made comments, who are watching and didn't make comments. Because I know there's a lot of people who watch and they don't make comments. But thank you for watching, for being here. Share this again if you know anyone who loves dance, who might be interested in this. And don't forget to give that thumbs up. And so Vika and I will be on again on Instagram next Tuesday. So, if you want to join us on Instagram, do it as well. All right. Love you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Love you, Renee. Okay. Thank you for having me. So excited.
You're welcome. Okay. Yes, I'm so excited too. So bye, everyone. Thank you.